Today I've come to the fairly remote-ish church of All Saints in the village of Dalbury in South Derbyshire. It's down a bit of a dead-end lane, this one. It's a bit of a challenge to get to and to park at. It's quite a curious little church hidden away. Now, the idea behind this series was to start some form of photography project in photographing churches, and today that's going to be a bit of an issue. As you can see, quite possibly behind me here, we've got the church tower covered in scaffolding, so that's not really going to make for great photography today. So what I'm going to do, as I live fairly local, I'm going to nip back at some point in the future to photograph this church, and as I'm here today anyway, I thought I might as well have a bit of a tour. So as per my first video, I think we'll do a circuit of the graveyard first before heading into the church. And this particular church, there's something that I'm aware of that's very special inside of this church. So hopefully we can find that once we get in there. But first, let's take a look at this graveyard, which from this point here looks, I have to say, it's very sparsely populated, not a very busy graveyard. Some nice graves though, some nice headstones. I really quite like this one. It says Daniel at the top there, 1977 to 1997. I'm loving the detail on that headstone, it's very nice. So just continuing past the passway, goes up to the church. This bottom corner here, there's a grave that's caught my attention. Just down here, it's got a sundial on the top, which I think is pretty cool. Nina Bishop, 1889 to 1949. Very cool little grave, that. So just looking over the details of the church itself and the building, really noticing here the differences in brickwork, stonework and the different tones over the church, which suggests it's had many adaptations and repairs over its time. Looking at the scaffold inside here, I've got these different tones of the stone that go down the left building here. When we go to the wall here that's facing us, it looks much cleaner. We've also got the red brick over the doorway there. That's obviously going to be fairly modern where churches are concerned. And just below the window here, we've got a very different type of stonework to the stonework that's above the window ledge. And then again, as we reach the end of the church, the stonework and just the building itself looks entirely different from the main church itself.
The church's origins date back to the 12th century, with its foundation believed to have been established during the Norman period. During the 14th and 15th centuries, the church was altered to reflect the evolving architectural styles of that time, giving the church a blend of Norman and Gothic features. In the 19th century, during the Victorian period, the church underwent substantial restoration to preserve its medieval character, following the widespread trend of church restoration across England at that time.
So with our mini circuit of the church complete, let's go and take a look inside this curious little church. So through the red brick entry to this really nice looking door here, I'm noticing there's a cut right down the middle of the door, which is interesting. Let me just, it's been cut in half, so only half of it opens. I'm assuming it can open wider, but I've not seen that previously on a door like this. It's quite intriguing. Getting a very sort of cold and medieval vibe from this church as I come in, and I must admit the inside looks a lot grander than the outside. Another very well kept church. Starting at the back here, got some organ pipes at the back there. I don't know if they're connected to anything. We've got two pools for the bells above. I think this is only a single bell church, could be wrong. We've got the font here. Interesting little font this. Normally I see fonts which are freestanding in the middle of the church, but interestingly this one's got its lid above here, and it's sort of built out this very decorative wooden backboard here with all this beautiful detail on. Very nice. Head to this corner down this way, we've got all sorts of leaflets and cards for sale here. Gift bags for £1. It's like a little local village shop. A nice little chill out corner here. Books for £1. DVDs as well. I think what we'll do now, we'll take a walk up to the top of the church. I'm really liking the look of the stained glass window at the end of here. So I've got the very old Bible at the top here, and we've got this very beautiful carved stand, very common in churches, but I'm loving the detail on the woodwork on this particular example. And opposite, we've got the main stand here, which is made out of absolutely stunning marble. The quality of this is really nice. You can tell it's really old and it's quite aged. It's a bit cracked at the edges, but just to stand back and look at it, it's just absolutely stunning. That. Coming up here, we've got the organ to the side. You might remember in my last video I was a little bit underwhelmed by the organ at Boyerstone Church, but that one is a little bit more impressive. I think you'll agree. Now we've got another one as well. I've got a little baby one at the end. Let's pay attention now to the stained glass window at the end here. It's really quite eye-catching. I think it's because of the vibrant colours. It doesn't look particularly old, either that or it's just very well maintained. But the blue in particular, with the cross there, that's really vibrant. And we've got the red around the outside there. There's so much detail in that window. Really is impressive just to stand here and look at that. I could look at that for hours, just looking at all the small intricate details in the window. At the side of it, we've got a couple of stained glass windows here. A bit of a rose, I don't know if that's a Derbyshire rose or something else. And there's another one just here. But speaking about stained glass windows, this is the special feature that this church has, which is this stained glass window here. It may look fairly insignificant on camera and fairly small, but this particular stained glass window, in fact the bit in the middle that's surrounded by the red area, is thought to be the oldest intact stained glass window in England.
Now, there is a degree of uncertainty to how old this window actually is. While a number of sources suggest this is indeed one of the oldest complete stained glass windows in Great Britain, this claim remains unconfirmed by wider historical records. Regardless, if this is the oldest or not, there is no dispute in the fact that it is a fine example of medieval artistry.
So I've got a feeling this particular video is going to be fairly short, but I think it's worth it just to document this amazing building. I certainly will be returning soon once that scaffolding has gone to get a decent image of this church for my photography project. As always, thank you very kindly for watching, and hopefully I will see you again. Goodbye.